Hello everyone, my name is Dorothy Waide. I'm a Karatani mothercraft nurse, sleep consultant, better well known, with over 52 years experience with newborns to toddlers. Today we're going to talk about safe swaddling versus unsafe swaddling. There's a lot of controversy about whether it is safe to swaddle. So to safe swaddle, you need to have something that is loose around their hip area so that they get good movement. It shouldn't be tight. So that is a safe to sleep. And this is Sammy, my doll, and it's an arms up one. I'm now going to show you how to do it with a muslin cloth, and also how to you can use it as transitional. Actually, we'll leave the swaddle to the end. So around 11 weeks, I want to start taking my baby out of the swaddle. So at 11 weeks, the startled reflex becomes a controlled movement. So it's important that we start using their controlled movement versus their startled. The older you leave them, the harder it is for the startled reflex to become a controlled movement. So I'm going to put that aside. And Love to Dream has these wonderful transitional sleeping bags, and it's got one arm in and one arm out. So I always say that you use the arm that they tend to be trying to get into their mouth. Okay, so we've got one arm out, and I'm going to put this into Sammy, and I'm going to put Sammy into it so that we can see how it looks. Now I do every step for 10 days, and then I will look at changing into the next step. So I'm going to probably do this step for 10 days, and I use this swaddle for day and night. So whatever I do in the day, I do overnight. So I've zipped him up, and I'm just going to get him comfortable and zip that up nice and tight. And as you can see, this is one arm in and one arm out. So that means that he can take his fingers up to his mouth, his fist into his mouth, because that will he'll start doing that. Okay. Now in 10 days time, I stop, think and act. Is he ready to come out of the second swaddle, second arm? Maybe not. I'll wait another 10 days. Oh, yes, he is. At the end of the 20 days, I do take him out, okay? Because by this age, they will probably be starting to roll. So I'll take him out. Now, normally at this stage, I just go into a sleeping bag because this one is probably getting a little bit too small for him as well. Okay, and yes, it's easier to undress a doll than a baby, I know. Doll than a baby. Got that right. Okay, so this is a sleeping bag. Now this is a lightweight sleeping bag for summer, especially New Zealand summers. It's about 0.51 tog. And that's what you'd use in the daytime in New Zealand summers, because most homes don't have aircon. This is like a single sheet going over their body, okay? And in the daytime, I would have nothing on their arms. And at night time, I would actually have a long sleeve t-shirt on to keep their arms cool, because that's their sheep. They can't pull a sheep up like you and I do. So I'm just going to pick up Sammy for a moment. Thank you, Sammy. And we're going to put our sleeping bag down. Now there's all different styles of sleeping bags. There's ones with zips down the front. There's ones with snaps up over the shoulders. The ones that I like are the zips from one side right around, because they're easy to get the babies in. But there are some sleeping bags you have to pull over the head. I wouldn't recommend them because it just adds another step, and a lot of babies don't like things over their head, so they'll start crying more. So one hand in, and the other hand in, and then I'm going to zip him up. Now this is a double zip, so overnight if I want to change his nappy, I don't have to take him out of the sleeping bag. I can just unzip this bit here, like that, take him out, change his nappy, and put it on. So for a quick nappy change, okay? And, oh, there's a snap up there. I was trying to figure out why they hadn't gone firm. So what you're looking for with a sleeping bag, not Sammy's a bit small for sleeping bags, is the closure up here. You don't want to zip uncovered or anything metal there so that they can chew on. Arms free, because the theory behind sleeping bags is that they must have good airflow between the bag and the baby, so that the baby can control their body heat, their body temperature. It's got to be nice and roomy. I don't like the ones that restrict leg movement. We've got to give them good leg movement. It's firm up the top, or, you know, this is a bit loose because he's a baby doll, but yeah, real loose down there. And that's it. Now, when you put Sammy in the cot for the first time, you might think, oh, he's waking up. His hands are hitting him all the time. So what I do is, and I only use a light muslin cloth, so it's a real big one, is that I will just tuck him in like this. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. It's not quite. So we're going to tuck him in like that, across the nipple line, tuck him in like that. Try and just get that hand in like that, and do quite a firm tuck over there, so that, and you wouldn't worry, I would just turn this up because he'd been a cot by now, so there wouldn't be, that would just be at the end of the cot, so that sort of, if he's waving his hand, this is trying to stop him. Okay, so just make sure you've just covered his hand. And this one, see, he's trying to get it out, but he can't get it out. And then I do that for 10 days, and then I take it away. It is important to understand that safe sleeping for older babies is no sheets, no blankets, except a bottom sheet, and nothing in their cots. Now, yes, they can have a dummy, they can have their cuddlies, and they can have white noise somewhere in the room. So that my white noise would be over there somewhere. Now, when you're looking at a cuddly, I always put them over my face and go, can I breathe through it? Now, I've got various types of cuddlies, but I've only brought this one over. I really like him. The reason why I like about them is he's got nice soft ears. He's also got hands. And what a lot of children do is that they put their cuddly in their mouth and they might start sucking on the ear or something like that. It's quite normal for babies, older babies, 6 months plus, to start using these instead of their dummies and stuff like that, and that's okay. Don't put anything in that's very heavy material or a lot of material. So I always look for a nice little blanket with a nice little head on, so it becomes a sleeping friend, okay? And that's it. That's all that goes in a cot. We don't hang blankets, so we do not hang blankets. So I wouldn't have a blanket hanging like this, over here like that, or over here like that, because that's not safe sleeping. So nothing in their cots except from 6 months plus, their cuddly toy, if you want one. What I do is I tuck my cuddly toys, that's what we used to do many years ago, is that we'd put the cuddly toy in there. So if I do it this side, you can see that everything's tucked underneath, and it's just the face sitting there, just like a little friend. So isn't that sweet? So that's an older baby into a sleeping bag. And that's it on sleeping bags, transitioning from swaddle to sleeping bag. Thank you very much.